Have you ever wondered what you should do with your EpiPens if you're not really sure what happened to, why they look cloudy, or do you ever just check your EpiPen to make sure it's good? When I'm saying good, I'm talking about expiration date. Or EpiPens or different epinephrine auto-injectors. They all are made differently and they have different expiration dates. And they also tell you different ways to make the look at the medication, make sure it still is able to be used if you have an emergency. Do you know how to use your epinephrine auto-injector? Many people do not know how to use it. So I would like to just stop by today, give you a couple of tips. Each EpiPen, or you go by epinephrine auto-injector, comes with a trainer. So it's very important from time to time, I say maybe every 3 months, just practice looking at your allergy action plan and just practice and make sure you know how to, one, use the epinephrine auto-injector. Two, just knowing what you should do in your plan. Did the doctor tell you to take Benadryl? Did it tell you how long you should wait before you use the second auto injector if the first one's not working? First, by most, do you even know the signs of why you may need an EpiPen or a epinephrine auto injector? So many people, if they start having shortness of breath, they feel like they can't breathe, their tongue is very heavy, like kids would say their skins are very itchy, they're having allergic reactions. But when you start having that shortness of breath, you can't breathe, you definitely want to call 911 so they can instruct you what to do. If you have your EpiPen with you, go ahead and use the EpiPen. And follow your action plan. If that's not working, get to the closest emergency room because it's very serious. Sometimes, in some cases, one is not enough. Sometimes two is not enough. So it's definitely, especially when you're traveling, you want to take 2 sets of EpiPens. That means 4 injections. You want to make sure you have 2 boxes of each when you do travel, just in case something happens. I know when you're traveling, you really try to be extra careful. You want to make sure you know where's the closest hospital in case something does happen. You want to know the closest drugstore where you are when you're traveling. You want to know all those things before you travel. So you want to do your research when you're traveling or you're visiting, or if your child is going on a field trip, for instance. You want to make sure that school has a plan to make sure they are taking those epinephrine auto injectors with them so they can have those on the trip. Same thing, you go to parties. You always want to have that with you. You should never leave home without your EpiPen or your epinephrine auto injector. It's very important. I don't know if you remember from my earlier webinar that you never leave your EpiPen at home, and it's so serious. That's something you always want to carry with you. You always want to know your allergy action plan in case something does happen. And especially when you're traveling, that what if, something happens, you want to know your closest emergency places where you can go get attention if you need to. So I hope these tips are very helpful. Look forward to bringing you more tips and about different topics. You can always send me an email, leave me a message or a comment to let me know topics that you'd like to hear more about. I'll welcome your feedback, and we'll talk to you soon for the next episode. Take care.